bashed in some circles for the contract you signed. What ticks you off the most, or what do you think is the biggest misconception from what you've heard?
Well, the biggest misconception is that it's a bad deal. I think, if you're comparing it to my last deal in Seattle, I had no money guaranteed. So if I'm basing it off just going off my last year in Seattle and you compared it, I got no money guaranteed. I'm going into Seattle. I'm coming off a ruptured Achilles. What do I have? What security do I have there? With this deal, I get $5 million guaranteed, which is half of my other contract. I get the ability to make more than I could have done, whether I played at an all-pro level or not in Seattle. And that's really all that I wanted. And I play at the level that I'm capable of. I feel security in the upcoming years, and I feel comfortable with that. And I'm great with that. I think the thing I'm most frustrated about is that, all the people that were like so high on bashing this deal refuse to bash the agents that do awful deals every year. I mean, there are agents out there that are doing, $3 million fully guaranteed deals that look like $50 million deals. When the guy gets cut after 2 weeks or after a year, and the guy only makes $5 million of a $50 million contract, and nobody sits there and bashes the agent. You don't hear any Florio writing any articles about it. I mean, the kid from Philly, I think Brenham or something, it's a 1-year, $6 million deal, but to everybody else, it's a $40 million deal. There's nobody to bash it because nobody's even paying attention to most of these agents and their deals. And so I think that this was just one of those things where the agents feel uncomfortable with the player taking the initiative to do his own deal. It obviously puts a fire under them. It makes them more accountable for their actions because more players will do this. So I feel comfortable with it.
Have you heard from players around the league? Do you think it's going to become a trend?
I do. I've heard from a lot of players, and a lot of players were already, on board with doing this and thinking of doing this. And I just gave them the confidence to move forward with them. Obviously, I'm coming off an injury, so the logistics of things changed slightly. But I think a lot more players feel educated enough to go forward and negotiate their own deals. I think these agents sometimes benefit from relationships. Oh, I know this GM. Oh, we've had dealings with for years, and they really don't have to do a ton of work. Hey, I called this guy. How much you willing to give him? Oh, $5 million. Okay, I'll convince him that that's good enough. Instead of guys being able to control their own destiny, being in control of their own finances. And I think it goes back to just educating our players in general on their own finances and being in control of your own life. And I think more of our players are